In this video, I'm going to be talking about pendulum best practices. So you will know when is a good time to sit down and practice work with your pendulum and when is not. Let's start with when is not. You do not want to practice with your pendulum if you are feeling grumpy, if you are tired, if you didn't get enough rest, if you feel any type of agitation, if you are distracted, if there's something really big going on in your life and you are unable to get yourself to that more grounded, centered, calm place. If any of those things are present for you, don't sit with your pendulum to practice during those times, because it inevitably will seep into the answers and responses that you get from your pendulum. This can cause a lot of confusion in your own mind. It can also cause you to second guess yourself and feel more insecure. So we don't want any of that for you. We want your pendulum to be a really great tool that you can feel confident in and really build your relationship and connection with it. The best times to practice with your pendulum are when you have, just say, 15 minutes. You don't need a long stretch of time. It's always better to practice in shorter increments than to sit down for an hour and really go gung-ho into it. I don't recommend that you practice for longer than 20 minutes. And I always recommend that you end on a good note. So instead of bringing yourself to the place of exhaustion, make sure that if you're getting really good responses that are clear to you and are giving you some insights that you need and some direction that you're seeking, stop before that changes. That way, when you return to your next session of practice with your pendulum, you've had this really positive experience that is your most recent in memory, and you will want to return to the pendulum to practice. So try to keep an eye out for that. Stop while the getting is still good. Stop before anything becomes confusing or frustrating to you. Also, I'm not going to suggest at all that you can only practice with your pendulum when you are in some sort of perfect and calm state. When are we ever? Except once we're on vacation. And even then, it takes us usually, a week to enter into that calm state. So mostly, as long as you are dedicated to a practice that helps you settle your breath, settle your nervous system, achieve more of a state of calm, that is perfect. That there's nothing here by way of having to do this only within a certain perfectly settled mental state. Just show up the best that you can and do the practice that's most effective. Just dropped a pendulum. Do the practice that is most effective for you for that moment. Also, gratitude and appreciation for yourself for showing up to the practice, for your pendulum for being the gorgeous, exquisite, beautiful tool that it is. I have been known to dance with my pendulum, to keep my pendulum close to my heart as I sing its praises and give it appreciation and gratitude. These are all wonderful ways to build a healthy relationship with this tool so that it can be something that really does serve you quite well in your spiritual quest, journey, and your desire for guidance and for information. Store your pendulum in a safe place where it will not be played with by young children, where your pets will not be tempted to chew it. Be mindful of this. In fact, I want to show you something really cool. I have a lovely client who is an artisan, and she makes these pendulums that double as a necklace. So she has an Etsy store. Her name is Jennifer Muldoon. I'm just going to put in a plug for her here. Can you see this? I bet you can. All right, that's her business card. She does not know I'm advertising this. Anyways, look how beautiful this is. I can wear it as a necklace, and then anywhere I go, I have a pendulum at the ready. And the way she makes these is she uses repurposed stones. So I happen to be a fan of turquoise. That's why this one is made of turquoise. You can detach half of the necklace and keep it somewhere safe. And here's the pendulum part. What I love about this, it has a really nice point. If you can find a pendulum with a good point on the end of it, like this crystal one has too, it will be so useful to you when you start using a letterboard or numbers because it will be so clear what it's pointing to. And this one has a nice weight and really great movement as well. Something else I want to mention is that you will notice, even if your arm is supported and stable, that your hand will naturally have some micro movements. There's nothing that you need to do about this. There's no part of our body that doesn't have micro movements, right? If we're living, if we have breath in us, then we're going to be moving in some way. So this is not going to interfere with you getting accurate responses from your pendulum. Don't feel like you have to have the most perfect or the tightest grip here. You don't need a tight grip. Keep it kind of gentle and loose and allow for whatever small movements of your hands are going to exist. They're going to exist anyways. Your pendulum can still find its way to point out the right answer for you. All right. That's all for this video. I'll bring some more goodies to you in the next one.